What happened in Parliament today will not be remembered as just another political incident, but as an explosion. This was not a noisy sit-in, not another heated shouting match. No, today was different. Today, the walls of Parliament trembled with words so heavy, so dangerous, that they might change the course of South African history forever. You think you've seen drama before? Scandals, walkouts, fist-pumping speeches? Forget all that. What unfolded today made everything else look like a rehearsal. This was raw, unfiltered, and brutal. It wasn't politics as usual. It was a rupture in the very heart of our democracy. Picture the chamber at the start. The faint shuffling of papers, MPs whispering in low tones, some smiling, others half-bored. The speaker's voice echoed like background noise, routine and predictable. But then the energy shifted. At first, it was subtle, like the quiet charge in the air before a storm breaks. Silence filled the chamber, heavy, pressing, electric. And then, he stood up. Gayton McKenzie, the fiery, unpredictable leader of the Patriotic Alliance. His chair scraped back, heads turned, some rolled their eyes, but others braced themselves. Because when McKenzie rises, it's never by accident. He doesn't waste words. He swings hammers. And today, he wasn't here to debate. He was here to detonate. His posture was hard, his jacket sharp, his eyes scanning the room like a predator. This was no policy speech. This was dynamite waiting to be lit. He straightened his jacket slowly, as if preparing for war. The entire chamber froze. Silence deepened, every shuffle stilled, every whisper cut off. And then, his voice struck the air like steel. President Cyril Ramaphosa must be arrested. Not investigated. Not questioned. Arrested. The words exploded through Parliament like a bomb. For a second, time stood still. Pens froze mid-writing, eyes widened, nervous chuckles rippled across the benches. But McKenzie didn't laugh. He didn't blink. His voice dropped lower, sharp as a blade. I have an international warrant for the arrest of President Cyril Ramaphosa. The chamber erupted. Gasps, screams, papers flying through the air. The speaker's gavel slammed, but control had been lost. Opposition benches roared with fury and triumph. ANC MPs rose in outrage, shouting across the floor. This wasn't debate anymore. This was war, unfolding in front of the nation. And then came the walkout. Not a quiet exit, but a storm breaking loose. Chairs scraped violently. MPs stood with fire in their eyes. Some pointed fingers, others shook their heads. They didn't just leave, they marched. Their footsteps thundered through the marble corridors of Parliament like a rebellion. Outside, panic spread. MPs huddled in corners, whispering sharply into phones. Journalists scrambled, their phones buzzing, live streams shaky, tweets flying. Within minutes, the phrase international arrest warrant dominated breaking news tickers. Beyond Parliament, South Africa caught fire. Twitter didn't just trend, it exploded. Hashtags multiplied, memes collided with serious legal analysis. WhatsApp groups overflowed with voice notes from activists, students, taxi drivers. Everyone asking the same question. Is the President of South Africa facing an international arrest? In classrooms, teachers stopped lessons to check their phones. In factories, workers huddled around radios. Taxi drivers argued with passengers. In taverns, debates raged louder than the music. Across the nation, one name, one claim, dominated the conversation. Because this wasn't gossip. This wasn't a protest slogan. This was Parliament, the sacred ground of South African democracy. And an MP stood up, looked the speaker in the eye, and roared that the President of the Republic should be arrested. Not by local police, but under an international warrant. If McKenzie is telling the truth, the repercussions are seismic. A sitting president, under international investigation? The state's reputation would be hanging by a thread. Allies would retreat, investors would flee, enemies would circle like vultures. The very stability of the Republic would be in question. But what if McKenzie is bluffing? Then this becomes one of the boldest, most reckless political gambles in modern history. A move so dangerous it could immortalize him as a fearless truth-teller, or expose him as a populist who flew too close to the fire. Either way, one fact is clear. The game has changed, and there is no turning back. Ramaphosa now stands at the sharpest crossroads of his career. Every scandal he has faced before, the CR17 campaign, factional wars in the ANC, whispers of weak leadership, were storms. But this is lightning striking the foundation beneath his feet. If he stays silent, that silence becomes poison. It fuels conspiracy theories and spreads doubt like wildfire. But if he speaks, every word, every gesture, every flicker of his eyes will be dissected and judged by a nation demanding answers. The truth is, this moment is bigger than Parliament. Bigger than the ANC, bigger than South Africa. Because the world is watching. Diplomats are refreshing their phones. Investors are calculating risks. Foreign embassies are drafting cables filled with words like instability and credibility crisis. Enemies abroad are sharpening their knives. Meanwhile, inside the ANC, the walls are sweating. Factions long simmering are boiling over. Old wounds are reopening. Loyalties are being tested. If McKenzie's claim carries even a shred of truth, the damage could shatter what remains of the party's fragile unity. Tonight, South Africa feels different. The air is heavy, uneasy. Conversations at dinner tables, in taverns, in taxis, all revolve around the same question. What now? People can sense it, that vibration under their feet, the feeling that history is shifting. Because today was not another noisy parliamentary brawl. It was not theatre. It was a fracture, a crack in the facade of stability. And through that crack, something terrifying has emerged, the chaos that has always been waiting, now breaking into the open. And here's the truth that should keep every South African awake tonight. This is not the end. This is not even the climax. This is the beginning. The opening act of a storm that is only just gathering its full force. When it finally breaks, it will not just shake the walls of Parliament. It will sweep through boardrooms, classrooms, and township streets. It will test loyalties, reshape unity, and force every South African to confront a new reality. When the dust settles, South Africa will not be the same country it was yesterday.